Can anyone hear me so that I will know that
We
I'm
can hear you.
all right? Thank you.
Can hear
So,
you.
all right, thank you. So, why do many stories never get built? Okay.
Hi, Balikis. You can make your screen slideshow.
Okay. Let me do that. I can't find that feature right now. Oh, I'm not the one seeing it.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. I can't find it. Okay, let me move on. So, having defined what a user story is and an acceptance criteria, so we have to understand why many stories never get built, and it's simply because of unclear requirements. Okay, when a product owner tell you we want to build the sign up dashboard, okay, so not even the sign up dashboard this time around. Excuse me. When the product owner said, okay, we want to have the authentication page, okay, that is a very broad statement because from the authentication page, we're going to have sign up, sign in, reset password, forgot password, and it is now the duty of the product manager or project manager in charge of that project to define the user stories. So when a requirement is unclear or vague, you can not get that story built or that feature built. Then missing acceptance criteria. When there are no rules or conditions that, okay, these stories must meet social condition before we can be able to build it, then we won't be able to get the feature built. Then too large or not testable. Okay, that the statement is too large, the feature is too large. For instance, I said we have to build the authentication page. It's too broad. Like it's not the responsibility of the PM to simplify it. Okay, we are building authentication in which the user will be able to have access to this product. What are the process? Is it from sign up? Sign up is a feature on its own. Okay, from sign up, okay, when they sign up, sign in. From there, you narrow it down so that everyone can understand what we are building. Then it must be clear, it must have a clear value to the user, because once it's not clear to everyone, we won't be able to build this. So that's why I say a pure user story is like a map with no destination. So if your user story is too broad, is not clear, is vague, then such user stories don't make any sense. And from there, you will not get what you are really what you want to build. Okay. Then the solution is there is a framework in project management for user stories, which is the invest framework. Okay, invest is like a quality checklist for stories, and it's an acronym, so in which I stand for independence, that the story can stand alone. The story can stand alone. M stand for negotiable, that is not rigid, is flexible. When it is being questioned, it can answer those questions. Okay, what do we want to build? The authentication dashboard. Okay, what are the things we needed to build there? Okay, it's going to start with the sign up feature first. Okay, then it must be valuable. You don't just write story, you don't just listen to what they are telling you we want to build. It must have value to the users. okay, because for instance, this authentication page I'm using as an example, the dashboard I'm using as an example, without this page or without this dashboard, you won't be able to access the product. Okay, then estimable. So in my definition, I said it's a simple descriptive. It must be very estimate, very clear enough to size. It's not something that should just be too broad. So when you are writing your user stories, when you are writing it and you are saying that, okay, this thing fits in, is independent, is negotiable, is valuable, is very clear enough to size, and it is small in which it can fit in a sprint, that it can be a feature that will be implemented within a sprint. Okay, and then it must be testable. What makes it to be testable is a clear acceptance criteria that everyone needs to understand that, okay, for this feature to be perfect, it has to answer all these acceptance criteria, conditions, and rules. It has to meet up with those conditions. Then that's why I say from messy requirements to meaningful requirements. Okay, this is a scenario which says, let's see, it's not okay. The raw requirement is that we need a better way for customers to find products. Okay, fine. This is a requirement, but it is too broad. It is too broad. Then it has to be narrowed down to, okay, who are our target audience? Who are our customers? So we identify our customers to be the shoppers, the online shoppers. What do they want to do? They want to be able to filter products by size and price so that they can quickly find what they need. So looking at these raw requirements and this refined story, you can see the difference. You can get a clear picture of what we want to build here. Then we want a better way for customers to find products. What are the better ways? They must be able to filter products by size and price so that they will know what they actually need. So the acceptance criteria now is that, given that I am on the product listing page, this means that I have been able to access this page. Then when I select a size, then only products in that size are displayed. This is an acceptance criteria that will meet up for product size. Okay, so moving on, you have to go on to prepare another acceptance criteria that, okay, for me to be on this listing page, I must be able to select a price range. Then only products within that range should be displayed. With that, the developers will understand what he is building. And then the stakeholders will understand what they are expecting. Okay, then another requirement is that once I am on this product listing page, when I select both size and price filters, then only products matching both should be displayed. For example, let's assume you are shopping for a sandal of size, probably you're using size 39. So with this, you'll be able to filter size 39. Okay, sandals of size 39 and within the price range of 15K to 20K. So those are the ones that we display. And by that, the developers too will get a clear picture of what is building. So the best practice for writing stories that will be developer friendly is to focus on user value. You don't just write a lot of grammar saying, okay, I've written grammars, then they should figure it out. No, make it simple. Then keep it clear, small and testable. Once it is simple, that it is focused on user value and is testable, then you add an acceptance criteria so that once it is built, you use that acceptance criteria to checklist what has been built. Okay, do they meet the conditions of these user stories? Do they meet the conditions of the acceptance criteria, what they need to meet before we can say, okay, this feature has been built? Then you review it in backlog refinement session. Then you collaborate earlier with the developers, because most of these user stories are written in backlog, but I don't want to take us into that. So that once you are picking it one by one, okay, we are done with the sign up, let's move on to the sign in, let's move on to the forgot password. From there, you'll be taking it one step at a time, and you know that you are building meaningful features that will be users friendly, and that will give value to the users. So that is it about the user stories. And the key takeaway this morning is that when you are writing your user stories, use invest method to write clear and valuable stories. Then I have explained what invest is. I stand for independent, N for negotiable, V for valuable, E for estimable, S for simple, then T for testable. Then you keep them small, testable, and user focused. Then with all these, if you are writing all of this, you have to collaborate with your stakeholders earlier, because collaboration turn these requirements into real products. You can't say I've written a good user stories, they should go and check it in the document. No, you collaborate, you communicate, and let everyone be on the same page. Okay, so that's why I say great product starts with great stories, and great stories starts with clarity. Once it is clear, everyone will be in alignment. Thank you. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Bankole. Good morning.
Good morning, Israel.
My little question is, the user story, is it the same thing as the user guide?
Is user story the same thing as user
I mean,
guide?
is it the same as the user guide?
No.
All right.
Yes, they are not the same thing. User stories are what the developers or stakeholders needs to understand while building the product. But user guide are what are documents